Hi YouTubers, okay, now I'll defeat this 500 books, and it's Mike Gayle's Wish You Were Here. Now, I've actually met Mike Gayle twice. He's a really, really nice guy and a really, really good author. He writes about contemporary fiction from the male point of view. Now, for a second. A lot of time in fiction, it's always men are treated as a disposable gender. In a character which is more female based, it's the, oh well, it wasn't working, so you cheated on him, but it's fine because you wasn't happy and you couldn't work out your relationship, and it's that kind of thing. It's kind of like an excuse at times. Women act a certain way and it's like an excuse. Mike Gayle writes about stories from the male's point of view, and it's actually quite enlightening how he treats his authors and how men are pretty much treated in general sometimes. So I love his work. I met him at Borders many years ago around Tottenham Court Road, and I think it's now TK Maxx now, and at an event last year in London, and he's a really, really nice guy and a great author. So read the blurb on the back. After 10 years together, Charlie Mansell has been dumped by his living girlfriend Sarah. All he wants to do is wallow in misery, but mates Andy and Tom have a better idea. A week with Sansi and Suvalaki in Malia, party capital of the Greek islands. But Charlie and his mates aren't 18 anymore, or even under 30, and it shows. It isn't the cheap beer, the late nights, or even the fast food that's the problem. It's girls and life, and most of all, each other. Their holiday brochure said 18 to 30, but they've just turned 35. This is a story about three guys who are stuck in a rut. They're kind of stuck in their own place. Now, you have Charlie, who's been dumped by his girlfriend. You have Andy, who set up the holiday, and he is just stuck in a state of arrested development. He has not grown up or really matured since university. He actually has a first in maths, but he does like odd jobs because he doesn't know who he is, or he's trying to figure out his own shit, if you will. And then you've got Tom, who has actually, I think, pretty much a really, really good life. He's married, he has 2 children, and he's also a born-again Christian, which creates a sort of conflict between the characters, if you will, because they don't know how to approach his faith. They seem to have this mentality about born-again Christians, that they act a certain way, they're trying to like a cult, trying to convert. But the thing is, this is the character who, out of the three of them, matured the most and settled down and decided he didn't want to screw around anymore. And he met a nice girl, and now he's got 2 kids, but he's got other issues going on in his life too. And he as a character, he's a bit of a whinger. He is a bit of a whinger, really. Right, this is a bit, okay, this is halfway through the book. Now, the chapter's called My Cup of Tea Face, okay, that, Tom is reading a lot of the Rough Guide, okay, and he wants to go to ruins, and he wants to go to see some culture and history where the other guys really don't. And he mentions going on a hike, and I love this. You want groovy? Okay, tomorrow they're organising a 16-kilometre trek through the Samara Gorge. It is apparently one of the longest gorges in Europe. It'd be great. My cup of tea face makes an immediate reappearance. It'd be good exercise, countered Tom. It might be, I replied, but isn't 16 kilometres quite far? I didn't really pack with hiking in mind. Neither did I, said Tom. I've done hiking in my trainers before, and you'll be fine. It says that a coach will pick us up around 8 and move back sometime around 5. Tom looked at me expectantly, but my cup of tea face was still firmly fixed in place. You don't want to go, do you? Asked Tom. Not really, I replied. There was a long pause. Fine, said Tom eventually. I'll go on my own. Suddenly I felt bad. Tom didn't ask much from me. It felt a lot less than Andy, and it seemed like a million different types of wrong to turn him down. But in truth, hiking along a gorge in the heat of the Cretan sun seemed like madness to me. Look, I'd come, I replied, making a decision to try to be a better friend to Tom. You could put my name down at the top. He's guilt-tripping him because he wants to go on a goddamn hike on holiday. I mean, when I'm on a holiday, I'm a solo traveller. I do a hell of a lot of walking, okay? But, oh, seriously, okay, there's this kind of like whinge factor going on with him. It's actually quite fun. At one point, I was led to thinking, God, this book is like, you know, free wankers go to Greece. That is the only way to really describe it. But the thing is, there's a lot of so much frustration in this. You think going on holiday would be like the idealised life, but these guys are so bogged down in their own misery and frustration and in Arrested Development that they can't really enjoy the holiday. It felt like the in-betweeners grow up and try and like recapture something of their youth, and they can't do that. It's like they're like scared of moving on. And juxtaposing this is Charlie is obviously dumped by his girlfriend and who did cheat on him, and she's moved out. Is Andy. Now Andy is the most one who's stuck. He has a master's in maths. He never did anything with it. He does rubbish jobs. He's stuck in a state of, he refuses to grow up, if you will. And the thing is, his girlfriend, who's lovely, okay, keeps contacting Charlie to find out what is going on, to make sure that he's okay. So it's not kind of like, no one can really get away from their problems, especially when those problems start following you. Yeah, so it is really, really, I enjoyed it more than what I thought. I enjoyed it more than what I thought I would, if you will. Because none of these characters are, they're realistic, and that means they're not particularly likeable because they're realistic. None of them are perfect. They all screw up, they all do stupid stuff, they live to regret it, and these, but at the same time, okay, by admitting that they've got these issues, they kind of move on to the next step, okay? And they really get bogged down with the clothes they wear. Now, I've been on holiday loads of times, okay, people who are, well, I would admit, all they really wear, okay, is jeans and a t-shirt. There's nobody going on holiday, who cares? Alright, this bit here, page 181, plan B. I'll say what plan B. As I sorted in the club Tropicana at close to 20 to 10, I was quite sure it wasn't going to be the best night of my life. For a start, my clothes didn't feel right. I wanted to wear the same clothes I wore on a night out at Pandemonium. A tried and tested ensemble that was virtually my going out in a town uniform back in Brighton. But after all that time in the bar, the shirt stank of cigarette smoke, my backup ensemble, a pair of beige trousers and a white patterned shirt, never been matched together before, and though technically they should have had no trouble getting on together. For some reason, the whole thing didn't quite work. Who cares? So, yeah, it's that going on. These guys are so bogged down in the fact that they're 35, and they're supposed to be at a certain point in their life, and they haven't. That they're just miserable. They're miserable in Malia. It's quite funny, really. So now, as now these characters are real saints, okay, not even Tom, there is an element of frustration as well. A frustration of trying to meet someone new, frustration of acknowledging your relationship was never perfect to start with, acknowledging how you screwed up within your relationship. And I generally did enjoy that factor. I generally did enjoy that. Because relationships change the older that you get, and it's trying to, you become a new person, if you will. You move on. And it is frustrating with friendships when other characters don't. So, or other people don't. I'm sure many people will say the same about me, but it's only when, towards the end of the book, where I think these guys really actually start enjoying each other's company being in Malia, and then it all goes to shit, because reality does in these kind of things. So, yes, I did enjoy this book. I do recommend it. And that's pretty much it. Recommend Mike Gayle as an author as well. He's a really nice guy and a really, really great writer. And I recommend this. I recommend his characters in this book. Okay, YouTubers. Sign off here. Bye now.